Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Folks, XRP will melt faces. That's the post on your screen, as shared by XRP chart analyst Dark Defender. And so if you're wondering, when will XRP peak this market cycle, the answer is at face melt levels. Pretty hot. Now, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen true face melting since 2017, the end of 2017, when XRP started its run from about 20 cents or so, hitting its all-time high close to $4. We're due for another. XRP has been consolidating for a very long time, and yes, we got screwed out of the last market cycle because of the SEC nonsense, but hey, you know what they say? The longer the base, or wider the base, however they word it, the wider the base, the higher in space. You know that corny line? But there's actually truth to it. The longer something consolidates, that shows strength, and it's been happening for over 6 freaking years, and everything's come together. We're in a bull market. XRP has legal clarity. We're at historically, in terms of all sorts of different charts, where you would expect XRP to be before it goes on a face-melting rally. If you look at XRP dominance, XRP BTC, pick a chart. Historically, it looks primed and ready to go. So if you're wondering where's the thing going to top up, well, not until we get to face melt territory. So I agree with the sentiment. Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. Analyst issues timeline for XRP to hit 97 cents, $1.50, and $2.30. I'm going to run through this with you because those are short-term targets, and I don't make price predictions, and of course nobody knows for sure, not for sure, what's going to happen. But this is, honestly, in my humble opinion, highly reasonable. For the short-term targets, yes, we've seen stuff like this in the past. Hell, we saw stuff pretty close to this last market cycle when XRP was shackled because of the SEC nonsense occurring here. And we'll also talk a little bit in terms of bigger pictures. When might the entire cycle hit a top and finally come to an end? And, you know, ultimate point being, if you have been in XRP for a while and you've been making sure that you got yourself well positioned for what your targets are, this is the time in your life where the life-changing wealth occurs. This is the moment. I believe that's what is most probable here. Everything's aligning. Unless something weird happens and we have a black swan event and markets just fall apart across the board, no. Everything's going to keep moving to the upside with XRP being part of this. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So let's start with this. Analyst issues timeline for XRP to hit 97 cents, $1.50, and $2.30. Dark Defender, a prominent market watcher in the XRP community, has updated his timeline for when he expects XRP to surpass the $1 mark and potentially exceed it to $2.30. In particular, Dark Defender highlighted that when XRP was around 58 cents on February 28th, he had set a target for 64.62 cents by March 1st. Interestingly, this prediction materialized as XRP surged to a high of 64.95 cents on March 2nd. Furthermore, in the forecast, the analyst had suggested that XRP would reach between 77.07 cents and 91.91 cents by March 10th to 13th. Remarkably, this prediction also largely came true as XRP unexpectedly surged by over 20% on March 11th, reaching a daily peak of 74.21 cents. So it's in the ballpark. It's pretty damn close. But with the remarkable accuracy of his previous price forecasts, Dark Defender's confidence in his outlooks for XRP has strengthened. Accordingly, he reiterated his $1 target for XRP in April. Now, my friends, that's reasonable. In fact, I'd say that's a low bar for these types of periods. Not that it has to hit in April or March, but it's very conservative and reasonable is the idea that I'm trying to get across here. And all the mopey people whining on the internet, they will shut the hell up when this happens. And it's just a matter of time. We don't know for sure exactly what day it's going to be. It'll probably be a Wednesday, but it's going to happen. And it just seems like a virtual inevitability here because the asset class moves in tandem. For you to not believe XRP is going to go high, you have to either be an idiot, a toxic Bitcoin maxi troll, or you have to actually believe that the entire asset class isn't going to keep moving up. There aren't many other options beyond that. It's got to be one of those in all likelihood. So yeah, $1 XRP it seems impossible to some people if they're Debbie Downers about it, but then you wake up one day and it just is. I've lived through this enough times to know that's how this goes. Piece continues. Moreover, considering the rapid uptick XRP experienced on March 11th, the analyst has adjusted his other short-term targets. Specifically, he suggests the possibility of XRP trading between 97.71 cents and $1.50 soon. Additionally, the analyst anticipates XRP even reaching $2.31, a price point not seen in 6 years, in the short term. It's hard for me to believe, for so many reasons, that XRP, which hit its all-time high January 4th, 2018, it hit it close to $4, and that was it. And it never to be hit again, never to be seen ever again, despite more utility, more adoption of the asset class. Just pick a metric on the XRP ledger. It's moving in the right direction, including developer activity over the last X number of years. Yes, all of that stuff. But no, that was it. That was the best we were going to see. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I do not find that to be the probable outcome. Piece continues. Notably, his forecast is based on the premise that XRP revisited a pivotal support zone and initiated a bullish wave foundation from that point onward. Dark Defender contends that XRP will sustain this level and advance towards the projected targets, which he anticipates will materialize in April. And I do want to pause a note here. Even though this article is about what Dark Defender is supposing is most likely to occur, based on what he sees in the charts, there are tons of analysts out there tracking what's happening in XRP, and there's no shortage of analysts that are talking about these types of levels in the short term just to start, just to kick things off. Won't be surprised to see this be the case. And then it states here, Dark Defender contends that XRP will sustain this level and advance towards the projected targets, which he anticipates will materialize in April. Essentially, with XRP hovering around 62 cents at press time, Dark Defender believes a potential 250% surge for XRP to the $2 range is within reach. Specifically next month, and in his view, XRP is now standing on the springboard. And that's a pretty good way to characterize it. Standing on the springboard. Yes, that sounds about right. And there's so much evidence to just prove that historically, the moment we're in now is incredibly similar to moments in the past where XRP did exactly this. We're in the right environment for this to happen. It's not just about XRP, it's about being in the right environment on top of that. And then we also have this. So there's a clip from Credible Crypto's 60-minute video that he published yesterday morning before the market started to recover, actually. And I already covered it enough in depth, but I did want to make a point on this. There was a section that was shared by an XRP community member, Riz XRP, and he wrote, XRP 6 years consolidation. Imagine another 58,000% from the current price. And so from a particular point in time that Credible Crypto is calculating to another much higher level in terms of price, there was a 58,000% increase. That's what he was highlighting in the video. But just because that happened, and just because we're talking about repeating what happened in 2017, which was the last moment in time where we had a big macro move for XRP, it doesn't mean you're going to have the same percentage. And this is a common misconception from all sorts of people, not just within the XRP community. In fact, what you should expect is lower percentages for any crypto from one cycle to the next, even if you have a higher dollar figure. And that's historically what's been the case. Because once there's more money in something, Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, whatever it is, it takes way, way, way more money just to get it to double or triple or quadruple. And so when there's almost no money in Bitcoin over a decade ago, it was easier to get crazy multiple 1,000% gains. Same with XRP. And now that there's way more money in it, in terms of the multiplier effect, it's diminished. In terms of the ultimate, in terms of absolute dollar figure, is it much higher? Yeah, way higher. But in terms of the multiplier, if you consider the bottom of a cycle, or pick your point, no, it's not going to be as impressive. And so Credible Crypto is clearing that up here. He said, to be clear, was not implying we will see another 58,000% increase from current price. Return on investment from cycle to cycle should always be expected to decrease. So just wanted to clear that up. But if you take a look at this, I just plugged this in. This is just a price increase calculator. I took the initial value for XRP of 28 cents, which is the cycle low for XRP. We hit 28 cents, roughly speaking, in, I believe, June of 2022. So if we're going to have a 5,000% increase, way less than 58,000, which is totally plausible, 5,000% instead of 58,000, you're looking at an XRP price of $14.28. And so I'm not saying I'm not making a prediction here. I'm just painting the picture. I'm trying to share the concept with you that, yeah, you can still have incredible gains even in terms of percentage increase, but don't expect the same 58,000% from 2017. It ain't happening. There is a 0% chance that is going to happen. No. There's not going to be enough money in the space to get that to happen. Now, in terms of what that means for the dollar figure, yeah, this is still face melt season for sure. $14 XRP? You know, if we get up there, and some people think that's conservative, so I don't pretend to know where this thing's going to top off. But suffice it to say, we should be entering price discovery. I think that's pretty reasonable to suppose here. Here's a post from chart analyst Rect Capital, shared this with his 433,000 followers on X. This is just fascinating because he's just looking at numbers, and then you can kind of imagine, based on what's happened in the past, how far might this cycle actually be dragging out? And then it can kind of paint you a picture of, okay, even if XRP pops at the end, which, you know, it's had a pop early on in the last few cycles, followed by a much bigger pop, at least in terms of dollar action, later on in each cycle. And so you can kind of think, well, if that's to more or less play out, so maybe Dark Defender's right, maybe we do hit a massive move up above $1, maybe above $2, but then the price discovery happens a little bit later, further towards the end of the cycle. And if history is to more or less repeat, kind of rhyme with itself at a minimum, this would give you a good idea of what to expect. And so here's what Rect Capital had to say. When could Bitcoin peak in this bull market? Bitcoin tends to perform a bull market top 266 to 315 days after it breaks its old all-time high. Bitcoin broke its all-time highs last week. The next bull market peak may thus occur in 266 to 315 days. That's very late November 2024 or very late January 2025. However, as accelerated as this cycle may be, it appears that the amount of days that Bitcoin spends beyond old all-time highs is actually lengthening. And folks, this is actually pretty interesting here. And I'll just state this too. I don't pretend to know where the market's gonna peak here. But considering where we're at right now, I mean, if we're talking about another half a year, roughly, because you understand, it's almost April. So another 6 months out, you're already in October. It gets kind of close to that. And so if you're talking about peaking, even if it is November, just consider that at that point, 4 years prior, if you're talking about November of 2020, that's when the market was starting to get hot. So that would still be like the cycle ending notably sooner. So it actually could end up being that. So maybe the cycle, the high, it'll be hit this year. In theory, maybe if it drags out further, I get the point he's making. It's plausible. Could happen in the beginning part of 2025. But it's interesting because it's staying higher longer. So check this out. He writes, in 2013, Bitcoin rallied for 268 days before topping out. In 2017, this figure rose to 280 days, an increase by 14 days. In 2021, this figure rose to 315 days, an increase by 35 days compared to 2017. Historically, the amount of days that Bitcoin has spent beyond old all-time highs have increased by approximately 14 days to 35 days. So how much time could Bitcoin spend beyond old all-time highs before performing its bull market peak in this cycle? If we add 14 to 35 days to the initial bull market peak range of 266 to 315 days, that would bring the total to 280 to 350 days. This in turn could push the Bitcoin bull market peak to mid-December 2024 or mid-February 2025. Yeah, so that would be really stretched out, and it's not a guarantee, of course, but it's food for thought. So if that's going to happen, that still means inside of the next calendar year, within the next 12 months, that face melt season, yes, for XRP face melt season. I can't imagine it not happening so long as there's no black swan event, and as long as we're going to have an actual full-blown alt season. I can't imagine it's remotely likely that XRP wouldn't be there with it. It just doesn't compute. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!